Hi guys, let us understand the session management in Servlet. So, like how we can track the users, end users. Let us say you're developing some application, that application is getting access by some of the end user, and you want to track the users, you want to maintain the session for the users. So, how we can do that? Today we'll see. Okay, there are number of techniques we are having to track the users. So one of like few of them I'm just going to explain here through the sublets. So there are hidden form fields I can say here, and URL rewriting, cookies and session, right? So we are having hidden form field, URL rewriting, cookies and HTTP session. So there are four ways to track the users. So we'll know one by one here. Okay, now first is the hidden form field, right? And I think before this we understood how to handle the errors and exceptions, how to send status code and errors, right? So look at here, hidden form field. It is the simplest technique to maintain the state of end user embedded in HTML form, right? So we are writing one hidden field in my form itself, and that hidden field is carrying the value. It is not coming in the browser, but in the code it is, right? So it is not visible when you view an HTML file in a browser window, not able to maintain the state of end user when it moved to some of the like in context static documents, right? So you can see this one. Suppose we are having a form, a hidden sublet. Let us say we are making this form and we are having input type text, input type button. Once we click on this button, login button, it will go to where? Hidden sublet, right? Now the hidden sublet will look for this request, and what it will do? Look it here. So we are calling hidden sublet. Now hidden sublet is getting invoked here, right? Now this sublet is doing what? It is saying request dot get parameter user, because the parameter, the input type, the name which we have given it as a user, right? And we are saying request dot get parameter user, so the user will come to the username, right? So this username is holding the value whatever user has entered, right? Now we are generating one dynamic page here. At this place, what we are saying, hello, click submit to proceed. We are having one form, name login action equal to second sublet, and we are having input type, what? Hidden. Input type hidden, name equal to user and value equal to username. So whatever we have got here, we are setting here, right? Now there's input type submit. So if I click on the submit button, it will go to this section, second sublet, right? Now this second sublet can look this value user and can get the value, but this row will not display in the browser, it is hidden, but code is containing this value. So this is a way to maintain or track the user or maintain the session for user, right? This is one way. So I hope you understood this. Next is the URL rewriting. This is another way to maintain the session or track the users. So it helps you to maintain the state of end user by modifying the URL. Is used when the information to be transferred is not critical. Cannot be used for maintaining the state of end user when static document is encountered. If the path which we have assigned and the end user is not going according to the path which we have assigned, then what will happen? It will not able to track it, right? Now let us see this code. Consider we are having the first form again here, okay, the form which we have used in the hidden field. Now that is calling this sublet, rewrite sublet URL, okay. So instead of hidden sublet, I'll just write this sublet name. So once I click submit, it will call this sublet, and this sublet is looking for the request user, getting the username right. And now this guy is generating one page, dynamic page, or .println hello, some link. Click here to proceed, right? Click here to proceed. So one link will be there. Click here will be having a link. If I click on this, it will go to this sublet. This sublet can look this parameter and get this value right. So whole URL we are rewriting. Just we are missing here. Let us say your project name is, or application name is xyz.com. So write that one also, okay. And then say slash r second sublet question mark user plus username. Then if I click it, this sublet will call. Now this sublet can look username again, right, and get the value. So they are retrieving value from this URL, right? This is what URL rewriting here, okay. Next is the cookies. What is cookies? So we can say it is a chunk of information created by the server and stored by the browser on the client machine. So server wants to store some information in your machine, okay, so that next time if you access this application, server will retrieve information from your machine file. Not, it will ask from you that enter these details. It will not ask from you, okay. It will take from your machine itself. So they're having right to do something with that, okay. So what will happen? The server will create this cookies file, and if once come to the browser, browser will store in the client machine. Next time if I access, it will retrieve it. Now supported by the web browser, and the size of each cookies is maximum of not 4 bytes, it is a 4 kilobyte, okay. So every cookie size is 4 kilobyte, and one application can make 20 cookies in your machine, okay. Means they can create 20 cookies every application. These settings and all we can do, but this is the default setting for that. 4 bytes, it means 4 characters only, right? So it is a 4 kilobytes actually. Now are used by the server to find out the computer name, IP address, or any other details of the client computer. The following tables describe the methods defined in the cookies. So we are having certain methods like get name. So return the name of the cookies. Set maxes. We can set the time or expiry time for the cookies. That after this much time, the cookie will expire. So that if other application try, they will not get access, right? Get maximum is we can get the time, how much time, or what is the validity period for that cookies, right? We all get in a second here. And set value, if you want to set some value with the cookie, we can say set value. If you want to retrieve, it is a get value. So these are the very important methods for the cookies class. So we have a cookie class. We'll see the code now, okay. Look at this code. Again, I will tell you, you remember the first form which I explained on this session. We are having one form, right? It was calling the second sublet, sorry, hidden sublet. It was having username only. Let us say it is having username and password. So two fields are there. And now we are clicking submit. It is going to the cookie sublet, okay? So this username password we are retrieving into a string. And then what we are doing, we are telling here that cookie ck equal to new cookie username. So whatever the username we have got here, we are setting with the name of user. This is my name and value here. So we are referring this name by this word, okay? And then we are saying response dot add cookie ck. So it will go to the client machine, and in the client machine it will create one cookie file, and that cookie file will contain the username, so that next time if we access, the server will pick the cookie file and get your name from your file, right? We can also store again password also. Let us say I just make another cookie. I say here cookie ck1 equal to new, and then again I say response dot add cookie what ck1. Similarly, we can add too many cookies here. So maximum is the 20, right? So this is first cookie, second cookie, third. We can create and we can say add response dot add cookie, okay? After doing this, okay, the message will come to the browser that cookie containing username is stored in your browser, right? If you want to retrieve, we have to do the use. There's a cookie class we have to use there, okay? And then we can retrieve and we can display the value, okay? The next is what? HTTP session. So the Sublet session API, we are having one API, that is the HTTP session in HTTP package, Java X Sublet HTTP package, right? And we are also having like HTTP session listener, HTTP session binding listener, okay? There are various method with the session we are having, like set attribute and get attribute. So we can set some value with session with the help of set attribute. We can say name and value, okay? Later we can retrieve by passing the name and getting the value, right? So that is what get attribute. If we have multiple attributes, we can say get attribute names, and we can iterate through the enumeration because return type is the enumeration here, right? So we can get as enumeration and we can iterate it and we can get all the values. At any time you are feeling that I need to remove some of the attributes, just call the remove attribute and give that name, which the object which you have bind with the name, right? Okay. Set maximum inactive interval. This will set time. After certain time, the timeout will happen. So user will not able to access. So sometimes you might have seen with the many website that if you are trying to if you are doing something and in between if you are living for certain period, and if you are trying again, it just say timeout, your session has expired, right? So we can set some time for that. If you want to retrieve how much time it has been set, so get max inactive interval, the method is there, which will tell you how much time for the session, right? There's another method which is invalidate. At any time you are feeling that the session should be invalidate, just call the session.invalidate method and the session will get invalidated, okay? You can see this code here. What is happening here? So here we are having one field, that is user, right? Name is user, and we are having button submit and reset. Once I click submit, it will go to where? Session sublet. This is my action, right? So now we'll see what is the session sublet. Let us see that. So session sublet we are having here. Now we are looking for the user. So we are saying request dot get parameter user, right? And we are getting to username. And then this is the important line here. HTTP session request dot get session true. So we are creating a session for the current request, right? If this session is already there, it will get it. If it is not there, it will create this session, new session. And then we are saying session dot set attribute. So if it is the first time, just set it. So name will be set with the session. Not any time we can retrieve the value, this username from the session. How? Just we have to pass this user, I'll get the username. Like this line. String user, session dot get attribute user. So we are looking for user. Here I will get the username. I can print it here, right? Whether username is there or not. This I have typecasted to string because get attribute return object. And we have set a string here, right? So we are typecasting to a string and we are getting as a string and we are printing here. Okay. So this example also you can see. We have a HTTP session. Request.get session we are saying. So we are retrieving the session, existing session. And then we are saying session.get attribute cart. So whatever the user has done, added in the shopping cart, we are just retrieving here and finding the amount for that, right? I just tell you one thing more here, like sometimes what happen, we do some login here, right? We do some shopping. So we are selecting few items from here. Then we go to the next page, we select few items from here, right? Again we go to the next page and we select few item, right? Something. And then finally say, give me total. How it will happen? So from here, whatever you have selected 3 item here, that should come here, right? So here should be 3 plus 4. Then here should be 3 plus 4 plus this again 3, right? So you have selected almost 10 items. So I need to add this all 10 items, the price I have to retrieve and add, then I can say total, right? So I have to keep carrying this whole data to the next page like that, right? This is what maintaining session. So I hope you understood this session management. That's all about the session management.